fuck's sake. Sooner we get on with the brain cell therapy, the better. A human brain in a lab is too much for me.
I think I've got something for you.
Really? What is it?
I got my hands on some tech we've been using for one of our contracts. It seems it can be modified to your needs. It's a neural implant.
What? Oh, no, Lena, I'm not a neurosurgeon, and I only have the basic equipment here.
Oh, relax, okay? It's a tiny, smart device. Inserting it is no harder than vaccinating a kid. I'll send you all the necessary instructions.
Easy peasy, huh?
I missed your sarcasm. But no, it wasn't easy to crack this one. It took all night, actually. And we did our best to make it as simple as possible for you.
No, wait. We? Who's we?
I consulted a colleague. He was in charge of deploying this implant for its original use. Nobody knows this tech better than him.
What was the original use?
The client was a big company operating in the private prison sector. They tested it on convicts applying for parole. The implant didn't just track their whereabouts. It also allowed them to control them in other ways. Regulate their levels of anxiety and such. Anyway, we think we can reprogram it to provide other brain treatments. We've worked out an initial formula based on your scan results. The implant will let us apply the formula, but also allow us to react in case anything goes wrong in the future.
Are you sure it's safe? Has it been tested as a medical device?
It hasn't, but I can promise it won't harm you. And it's the best shot we have at healing you. What's really bothering you?
It's the surveillance that bothers me. I'm not a criminal.
Well, in that case, you have nothing to hide, right? Look, I know how it sounds, but it really is the only thing we've got. I'll send you the instructions, and please just follow them. The most important thing is to start the treatment as soon as possible, okay?
Sure. Thanks, Lena. I found an alternative solution to your problem. The implants, right? Talk about a divisive idea. But I, for one, appreciate your effort. Anything's better than, you know... Have you heard? We have another way to cure you. Right. Well done. Brain implants. Talk about jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire. Looks like I found an alternative treatment for you. Shit. So it is true. Your wife told you to put implants in our brains so the corporation can track us? You're not seriously thinking about it. Actually, I'm considering it. It's better than the other option. Oh, man. Oh, this is it. We're done for. Looks like talking to Lena helped find an alternative solution after all. Yeah. I mean, the idea of that implant doesn't sound so great, but I guess Lena knows what she's doing, right? I can see you're on. Aren't you? I. Work is the best at. Excellent. Oh, for fuck's sake. Is there a problem? Listen, Jan, what do you mean? Morale is at an all-time... What exactly do you... Good leadership requires treating people at... I hear you.
Hey. Yeah.
You did.
I just want to say, asking her for help is the smartest move.
That's the plan.
Good. You seem to be
Yeah, I think so.
That's great. To think I was the mastermind behind...
It really is. Thanks.
Do you think this could be a chance for you and her to, get back together?
Maybe. Who knows?
Well, in that case, I think it's only fair you should know how much deeper your relationship...
What do you mean?
You see, we were the one who was supposed to go on this mission. She was the head of the hydroponic farms project. I was just helping her out in the lab. She was so excited about taking her solutions, but she failed her medical test.
And you could replace her just like that? Without any preparations?
It was madness, but yeah. Somehow I managed to get a crash course in everything in the last moment. It was only possible because I've been close to Lena all the time she'd been preparing. Because she insisted I take her place.
And you agreed? To leave her behind? I mean, it must have been something serious. Was she sick?
Yeah, it was serious. She was pregnant.
Oh.
I only learned about it the night before takeoff. She didn't want to raise my hopes because it was still such an early stage. We'd been trying before, but every time it ended all too soon. The disappointment was unbearable. And yeah, I can't say it didn't put our marriage to the test. But this time, we were really hoping for a breakthrough. Thing is, I'll never get to know if we were right. What if it wasn't going to happen? And you were simply spared another disappointment? That's exactly what I keep asking myself. Which way would it go? Going into cryosleep, I was worried and full of hope at the same time. I was prepared for anything, except having to remain in this quantum state of uncertainty forever. Funny. I never thought being a father would become so important to me. What about you? Did you ever think about it? I can't say it never crossed my mind, but... No. Time was never right. First, we were saving money for the house. Then I lost my job. And then it was just struggling to find any stability. Stability, yeah. We found it after moving abroad. Turned out that company wanted her so much, they even agreed to hire me to help her out in the lab. Working together really brought us close. You should have seen her beaming that night she told me. This could be it, Jan, she said. I'll never forget the look on her face. I was supposed to get a good night's sleep before the launch, but we just talked the hours away, laughing and remembering old times. Until at 3 a.m, we ended up singing Big Green Tractor. Oh, man. Yeah, that's right. The unforgettable hit of our mountain road trip. That trip. Man, that must have been in another life. We were crazy, young, and in love. And broke. Remember that rundown car we borrowed from Lena's uncle? Yeah. All it had for a radio was an old CD player and one CD. And the opening track, Big Green Tractor. It made us laugh so much we played it on repeat. Yeah. Those were the times. That trip was where Lena bought us that cheesy shepherd's axe. Remember? Oh, yeah. You know, I even packed it on this mission to remind me of her. Hey, you didn't by any chance have the same idea? No, sorry, I didn't. Oh yeah, stupid me. I got so immersed in memories I almost forgot you two split up. I guess I'm just trying to hold on to anything real and tangible. I packed so many things that reminded me of her, I'm left with nothing. But, of course, there's no way that axe could materialize from another life where it wasn't, well, valued so much. Anyway, thanks for talking. I'm glad I got it off my chest.
Hey, can I ask you a favor? Isn't that what you do all the time? Yeah. Well, this is not mission related, not directly anyway. That's not helping your cause. Right. Do you remember that road trip to the mountains we took with Lena just after we met? Of course I do. We took a lot of unnecessary risks getting into that old pickup without giving it a proper checkup first. What were we thinking? What can I say? Youth. Nice excuse. Makes me wonder what a miracle it is for so many people to survive that stage in life. Yeah. Anyway, remember the shepherd's axe Lena bought us there? A silly souvenir just for laughs? Please, don't remind me. I need to recreate it. Really? Why? The botanist remembers packing it for this mission. It has sentimental value for him. I'd like to cheer him up by surprising him with it. He's not in a good spot, to put it mildly. Oh, that's very nice of you, really. But don't you think focusing on getting us out of here alive would be a more appropriate pick-me-up? Sure, that's the long-term goal. Meanwhile, I have to make sure he has something that keeps him going. He's useless when he's encumbered with sorrow. Okay, and what do you expect of me? You see, I forgot what it looked like exactly. Wooden handle, steel head, folk ornaments. But are you sure the head was steel, not iron? It was a cheap toy, so I guess you could be right. But it looked quite hard. I'd know for sure if I could see it. That's the whole point. We don't have it. Right. Yeah, about that handle. I think it had some kind of a floral pattern carved on it. Floral? Are you sure? I thought it was more like a zigzag. Oh. About those ornaments, it had these red woolly pom-poms attached to it. Do you remember how many? 3. That I'm sure of. But I don't think they were red, Jan. More like magenta, wouldn't you say? Damn, this is not helping. And I thought you'd be the perfect guy to recall technical details. Well, maybe we don't quite agree on the definition of technical details. Now, if you'd asked me about the pressure in our tires before we headed out, or the details of the dissertation I was in a hurry to submit before we left, you'd have gotten them immediately. But a toy axe? I didn't exactly analyze it, if that's what you expected. All I remember is I looked like a fool holding it in that photo Lena took. Shit, you're right. There was a photo. It's a shame I got rid of it. It was a good decision, if you ask me. Well, that settles it then. No surprise for the botanist, but he'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's get back to what we're good at, okay? Lena could still have that photo. Lena? Jan, is that what it's really about? We're in a shithole here, and all of a sudden you feel like flirting? Relax. I assure you all I want to do is recreate that axe. Don't worry, I'll take care of more urgent matters first. Well, in that case, do whatever you want. Just don't waste my time.
Jan? Hello?
Lena, hey. I just wanted to call to say thank you again and ask you about something personal.
Okay, what is it?
Remember that road trip we took to the mountains? Just after we hooked up? We borrowed a car from your uncle and...
I remember. What about it?
Remember that shepherd's axe you bought me?
It's kinda hard to forget.
You didn't by any chance keep the photo of me holding that axe? I'd really like to see it again.
That's a strange request. I'd have to check.
Sure, just let me know if you find anything, okay?
All right, I will.
Thank you, Lena.
Talk soon.
There's nothing more to do here. Should I move there?
Guys, we can keep yelling at each other, or we
Tension
can
is
think this
becoming
through.
dangerous. We need to find a solution. Hey, so I'm guessing you received instructions from Lena about an alternative solution to our problem. I want you to know that I have those implants ready. A nanoparticle treatment, yes, that's smart. But the device itself, highly questionable. It would mean exposing us to Ally Corp. I won't lie to you. Yes, I see. Of course, they'd have to find out about it sooner or later, right? But this? Look, I can clearly see why Lena talked you into this. She has no idea what's going on here. We're just an abstract problem for her. But on an empirical level, I'm not so sure it's a good idea. Honestly, I have doubts too. Understandably so. We'd be giving them access to our brains. And I'm not really keen on doing that, especially considering we have other options. What if it concerned you? Would you inject a tracking device for convicts into your own brain? You're right. I wouldn't. So, you think we should go ahead with tabula rasa? All I'm saying is that you should decide responsibly, with the potential consequences for all of us in mind. I guess I'll need to think about it some more then. Well, I wouldn't be able to start the treatment at once anyway. I'm not an expert on nanoparticle meds, but I do know we need to give the healing agent time to mature before it can be used. How much time? 3 days, according to the instructions from Lena. But we can't linger more than that. Once it's ready, we'll need to call a meeting and communicate your decision to everybody. Okay, good. Let's do that.
So, it's all down.
Lena? Hey.
I found them. Our old photos. Talk about going back in time. There's one that might interest you. You're waving the shepherd's axe like some mad caveman. You look so chipper in it. I almost forgot how big that smile of yours can be.
Huh.
Made me wonder, you know, knowing what happened later. How little it took for us to go from those happy times to fighting with each other. One moment, you're smiling so broadly, holding that axe, and the next you're smashing it to pieces on our kitchen table.
Well, at least the table turned out to be one sturdy sucker.
You're still doing it, huh? Turning conversations that make you uncomfortable into a joke. Well, it wasn't funny for me. Just so you know. Of all the things I ever gave you, you had to bring this one up. Why? It was cheesy, it was worthless. And it brings back a whole lot of shitty memories.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it was harder than I thought, but I'm doing my best to support you in this crazy situation. And I can handle a sleepless night or two. Anyway, I'm sending you the photo. I hope it helps.
Thanks, Lena.
Take care, Jan.
Yeah. Talk later.